Hi everyone, this is Kelly from The Truth in Story, and I'm here because I'm so excited about this that I've been waiting for to come across the ocean blue. So this is an oracle deck. I had talked about this in live chat. Everybody wanted to know what it was because I think I'd said something about the next deck I was excited about, and I had to hurry up and order it before I told on live chat because I was afraid you were all going to buy it all up. So I have been waiting for this to come, and it just came in today. And this says, with compliments from the Wychwood Oracle, purveyors of all manner of oracular marvels and oddities. How awesome is that? The miraculous fortune-telling fish guaranteed to shock and amaze, imported from exotic lands for your enjoyment at no added fee. So we have I kind of remember something like this. Let's see. Oh, look. Moving head, jealousy. Oh, he flipped over. Oh, look at it. Oh, what in the heck? I feel like I remember this. It flipped over. It curled up entirely. This is passionate. But now it's like waving about. Oh! Oh no, it's curling up. Apparently I'm very passionate right now. Of course, if I fall, because it's moving, I could put all these things to it. How cool is that? Obviously that, whatever this paper is, oh, it's got something written on it. Oh, that is, obviously it reacts to your body temperature, I'm assuming. Oh, I'm very passionate. I'm feeling quite passionate now. That is awesome. That makes me very happy. That makes me very, very happy. 30 thumbs up to Wychwood Oracle people. Oh, and look at the bag. I mean, don't you feel like you've gone to the festival? I don't even want to ruin it. It's like you've gone to this kind of, you have to, I think, the way it is. But it's like you've gone to the fair. Oh, nope. 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 No, I'm going to have to cut it. Alright, let's just rip into it as if it's a present. Let's just rip. Oh, it comes in a pretty bag. Okay. The whole aesthetics of this, I admit, I love the kind of the stagemanship of putting things like this together. It makes it an experience. I just love it. And I love the backstory of like Mildred Payne, where some people don't really like that and they kind of consider that all that stuff kind of marketing. But I love it. I love it. I love this kind of stuff. So here we have this beautiful, like, kind of embossed. It's mostly flat felt, and then it has this pattern here of like floral pattern, embossed onto it. It's beautiful. And then we have the cards, the Wychwood Oracle, which this all goes so well with this because that's why I bought this. If you've watched my channel very long, I'm a huge fan of the Madame Endor's fortune-telling cards. Because I love the aesthetic. I literally feel like I'm a fortune teller and when I'm reading with them. And plus it's an amazing deck all in its own right. And this has that feel to it. Like, I think it's not the same look at all, but I think this is going to have that same sort of feel that I'm so excited about. This is the backings. I like less busy backings, but I don't care. Wychwood Oracle fortune cards. And you have sort of these moons going on in a compass rose. I do love it. Wychwood Oracle fortune cards. 32 reversible cards for fortune-telling oracle readings and more, plus 6 guide cards. So Okay, it goes right into, are they not in order? Or are they backwards? Okay, let's flick up. You just got to keep a quick peek, didn't you? Let's see. So we have past, present, and future. So instead of a guidebook, there are some cards with basic. Again, these types of decks, folks, don't stress, I think, over guidebooks with or things, because you just need those basic keywords to kind of let you know how to tap into these. I think once you get comfortable with fortune teller type cards, they become very easy to get a feel for them. So instead of a little white book, we have 1, 2, 3. I mean, that's just the art card, but we have 6 cards to kind of give us a 3 card and then give us our basic keywords. So, which is kind of nice, because then what I do is I just put them face together like this, and that way when I go to do a reading, I pull those out of the way, and it lets you compactly keep everything together. So there's pluses to that. So yeah, the deck is, I don't want to see them though. I guess we're going to reveal them this way. We're going to do it a little differently. Okay. Oh, I love this. Okay, let me zoom in. And I know it's a little bit bright light here, but it's been raining and gloomy all day. And of course, when I sit down to do a reading, there's this beautiful kind of hazy light shining through the clouds, and I don't want to shut the window. So there you go. So there we have the backs again. Up. Oh, the backs don't have that on it. Oh, 2 thumbs up. 20 thumbs up to them. So that, all of that is on the extra cards, and the actual, that's amazing. 3,000 thumbs up. I love that. 3,000 thumbs up. Let me get these out so we can check what they see. So they're all black and white. How beautiful. Seriously. How beautiful is that? So we have the eye, clarity of vision, intuition, focus. If you read in reversals, self-deception, lack of focus, daydreaming. Love it so much. But it's this beautiful, clean, black and white gorgeousness. Okay, I literally paused the camera to go on Instagram Live to show that fish. And then we did a quick walkthrough of these scars. Because it just made my day. I'm sorry. Life is tough sometimes. And when you can find the little moments of pleasure, enjoy them to the fullest. And I have to say, I've been through the whole deck very quickly, and I quite love it. But let's go through it with some modicum of professionalism, Kelly. Professionalism. Okay, so here we have the eye, which is for clarity of vision, and then I like the reverse meanings, I have to say. We have this idea of a lack of focus. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily your eyes closed, but maybe that you need to focus a little bit better. So I do like that. We have the heart, of course. These types of deck have to have a heart, love, and affection. And when it's reversed, it can be breakups, heartaches, of course, what you would think, or just a relationship just not going well. You could also be not in touch with your passions, depending on the question. We have the hand. I love this deck so much. We have the hand, which is reaching out in friendship, offering help, reaching for your goals. And then when it's reversed, it's like you need the help, right? You need help. You need to reach out for help. Things that you're reaching for, you haven't quite gotten them as yet. I love that. This one I think I'll actually use reversals on, because it does feel like it's really built into the system. Look at this beautiful tree. This now has the 4 elements. Like this deck was made for me. It has the 4 elements. So this is the earth element, and strong roots and growth, and then of course instability when it is upside down. Then we have the feather for air, of course. Freedom, changes. Putting it upside down as you kind of lost your way. Distance, of course, however you might see air, you could just see that in reversed. Same thing with water, the river for water, but then also when you reverse it, it's that idea of being overwhelmed, getting carried away by the river. I love that. We have, of course, a flame for the fire element. And again, you could use the flame for other things as well. That's one of the nice things about this style of deck. You can kind of do what you want, but they can associate this with fire, passion, spontaneity, and then upside down, recklessness and destruction, because fire has a destructive side. So, love it. We have the moon, so that was the 4 elements. And then we have the moon card for progress, personal growth, and solitude. And then reversed, you're trapped in a cycle. I like this. You know, the moon cycle, but it's reversed, you're trapped in it. I love it. We have the sun for, of course, energy, exuberance. I was saying on the live chat, this is how I feel right now. This little fish put me directly into sun mode. I love it. Here we have a beautiful chaos card for change and surprise, and it's not reversible. A couple of these are not reversible. Deste is like that. There's a couple decks that I like where certain cards do not change in reverse. There's another one that's coming up, I know. Here we have the owl card for wisdom and justice and calmness. And reverse, we have pride and ignorance and judgment. So justice versus judgment. Very cool. I love that. You could also say wisdom versus knowledge. You can have knowledge and just have all this information, but doesn't mean it's you're taking that and using that in a wise way. I also thought the rat was quite interesting. So instead of a typical mouse that we might see in these types of deck, we have a rat, but it actually means growth and personal wealth as well as complacency, I guess, a big fat rat. But in reversal, that's where you get the warning from the rat. So that's really interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that. Maybe they are people who love rats, like have pet rats. We have the black cat, which stands for your luck is about to change. It's not, it doesn't have it, it's neutral. It doesn't have a positive or negative, just luck is going to change, and it means that whether it's in reverse or not. We have the snake, poor snakes, seduction, which isn't negative, seduction, temptation, and possibility. So we do have the possibilities there. There's, you know, there's a lot going on here. But reversed, it's actually rebirth, confidence, and an upheaval. So that's interesting. We do have the idea of rebirth and confidence there, but in its reversed form. So I'm so excited I can't even talk. I'm such a child sometimes. I'm a 49-year-old child. We have the wolf. Okay, please, because, you know, I love this. Loyalty, bonding, and conformity, where we can have disloyalty and broken bonds, but also new beginnings. Kind of, sometimes you have to strike out on your own. So really interesting. I do feel like these are, you know, obviously small sets of keywords, but I do feel like the creator of this deck has really taken some time and put some thought into this, and I quite love it. Here we have the door, which I love. Deste has a door card that I absolutely love. Opportunities, you know, opening the door to new opportunities, whereas if it's reversed, there's some doors that are closed or you're coming to the end of something. I love this deck. The compass for journeys and travel, and then of course reverse, you've lost your way, that type of thing. The anchor card for steadiness and security and stillness, but if it's reversed, it's not dug into the bottom of the ocean. And of course, you can be set adrift. The key card for secrets, self-control was interesting with the key. And just having to have some patience. The key is not in the lock yet. But when it's reversed, we have openness, honesty, and revelations. So one way you're keeping secrets, and the other way you're actually revealing the secrets or being open. See, this is what I'm saying. I feel like this is well thought out. Interesting. Here we have a dagger for protection. Now this also has the keyword justice, but I love the owl with justice and judgment. That makes me happy. Whereas this, I feel, is the idea of protection and then reversed having the danger. Very cool. Here we have the Horseshoe, which generally means good luck, peace and contentment, but when it's reversed, you know, your luck can fall out of that. So your change of fortune, it's probably not a great one, right? Although it just says change of fortune, so it can just simply be what if your fortune's bad and you're going to have a change of fortune, then that ends up being a good thing. That's why question context is always so important. We have the coins here for good fortune, gaining fiscal security, good stuff. Whereas again, if it's reversed, the money is falling out, right? So, you know, whereas one is more to do with luck and peace and contentment, this is more to do with more your sense of abundance there. So I like that because, you know, in geomancy you have the upright bag and then the reverse, so you have gain upright so things can fall in, and you have loss in reverse because your coins are falling out of the bag. Love it! We have a crown for recognition, authority, and of course it's interesting when it's reversed you may have to compromise of your authority. Interesting. We have a wand here for focus, intention. So you do think a little bit magician. I do feel like these, just given some of the meanings, I feel as if they, creators certainly familiar with tarot, that has a very magician feel here. We have a cup. So we have a wand, a cup. We do have the dagger back here that could be obviously sword energy. And so, or the feather actually, you know, that we have the feather too for air, water, fire, and earth could even be, you know, well, we have an earth card. I can't even remember what the earth card is now. Now I'm confused. Now I'm excited. I'm just so excited. I have been literally like a little kid waiting for, so fire, water, oh, the tree for earth. And we also have the coins for the coins. So yeah, I've been waiting and waiting for this deck to come. I've been so excited about it. I know we're all whopper-jawed, as I like to say, but that's okay because we're going to the next card of the mask. I was saying on live chat that, or the live Instagram, I have a mask card in my charm casting set, and I really like that because whether something is being hidden or revealed can happen, and whether you're putting the mask on or you need to take the mask off, it's just a great little charm. I like using it in my charm casting, and so I love that there's a card for that. Mystery, illusion, and composure, where you have deception. So there's a difference between having mystery and enjoying the illusion of something. That's different, right, than the idea of deceiving somebody and being deceptive. And I like that the nuance is available there with the reversal. Then we do have, which I didn't realize, but we actually do have significators, which is wonderful because you can use this that way. You can use these for their meanings. Let's see what those might be. So we have the Lady as strength. Do we not love that? Strength, dignity, and patience. And the Lord as skill, dedication, and vitality. Reversed, she's got negligence and disharmony in the house, so to speak. And the Lord reversed lacks discipline, is dominating, and has that sense of independence versus working with the lady. So you can use them not as significators, but as actual cards with meanings. But this does allow you to search for the significator and see what cards on either side, which is awesome for somebody like me that comes from like Lenormand and that, where you have significators. Love it. I also love that with the Rackham Oracle. I love the Stranger. It reminds me of the Stranger in a Strange Land. It also reminds me of the knights that are in the Jeopardia Tarot, which I love, not in looks, but I love that idea of the knights as strangers because they're always moving. They're always going and moving off and going, and they're always strangers in a strange land. Mystery, chances, and the unknown, but it could be intrigue and disruptive energy in reverse, which which is very true about knights as well. So it has a very knight feel. We have a trickster here, mischief, fun, and uncertainty, and it stays the same whether it's reversed or not. We have a witch card, which I love. I believe this is a illustration, or certainly based off of an old illustration that I've certainly seen. And I love it. She's got she does have the traditional kind of pointy nose, pointy chin witch, but she's got a great smile on her face and the cat on the back. Inspiration, moderation, and courage, but reversed injustice, audacity, and also inner strength. So I think it's going to depend again on the question. And then finally, we do have the death card. Upright, change, release, and endings. It's an ending card, like a coffin card. No need for people to freak out. But in reverse, it can be passivity and stagnation instead of change. Even though change is difficult, it is energy that's moving, where in reverse it's just stagnation. You're just sitting in the coffin. You're not accomplishing anything, right? Oh, do I love this deck. Let's zoom out. Okay, so let's see how they shuffle. They feel like they're going to shuffle really nice. Of course, I will be blacking these. In fact, I will pause in a moment and black them and come back and show them to you. Yeah, they got a nice shuffle. They're not super bendy, but they have a nice riffle to them. There are 30... Oh, now I don't even remember. Let's see, what's the very last one is death. I got these mixed up now. 32. So there are 32 cards, which there are, you know, a history of fortune-telling decks, 32, 36. It was based on different card sizes. Some left out different numbers of the pip ones. So it's a nice, I do, of course, love the bigger the better with Oracle decks. But this is nice because I think they did a really good job with the reversals, which I'm going to have to shuffle for. But first I'll just show them upright. So let's just see them all laid out. It just makes me happy. Of course, they just have sort of a past, present, future. And these types of fortune-telling decks like Madame Endor's, they do really shine in 3 card, just giving you that precise answer. But they also, that is really crooked, but you know. But I actually really love Madame Endor's. I will do it as a 9 card as well, and I think it works really well for that as well. We got a reversed coins without working at it. Well, I thought I'd come back and kind of, people ask a lot, so I am using a Sharpie king size, and the real key is the chisel tip. I prefer this king size Sharpie. I also generally always have the back of the card facing to the pen. Now this deck, it really doesn't matter because you have a black edging on the front of the deck as well. So it doesn't really matter, but I just find it to be a good practice because it keeps any overlay from hitting the front of the card. And so I just literally go around and around and around, and you will sometimes miss your corners no matter how careful you're being. It happens. But the nice thing about using a Sharpie to do something like this versus an ink pad or even Winsor & Newton pigment pens, which I love. But the nice thing about the Sharpie is that it dries really fast, so you don't tend to get smearing on the card. So that's, for me, a big bonus. Plus, I just like the quality of black that you get with a Sharpie. It does look different. You can see a slight bit of a sheen sometimes, and that's sometimes good and sometimes that's not. I was just trying to get a couple. I always put them together and check my corners because no matter how careful you think you're being with your corners, they don't end up always staying so nice. I love this deck. I don't know, it may, I think, even surpass Madame and Dora's, even though I love that deck a lot. They don't need to compete, right? We can love them all equally. But I love black and white things. This sketching that we have going on here is really beautiful. Just the whole style of it, the aesthetics is stunning. Now I will say that while I was on the live thing on Instagram, somebody did go over to see if and they were out. But I would always caution on Etsy to check with the shop owner, because on Etsy you generally put you have to put a specific number that you have, and with decks, especially if you have, and I think they do, if you have a website and Etsy. I did that for a while, now I just do it on Etsy for the moment. But when you have them split like that, you can't put your whole stock up on Etsy, because then what if two people buy the last one? So you I just throw a random number up there on Etsy, and then when it runs out, you get notified, but you have to physically go and renew it unless you have it set for auto renewal. So on Etsy, I always recommend, even if it shows out of stock, that you contact the creator. And it's very possible, hopefully, I hope that they will be bringing these back, because these are awesome. These are very, very awesome. It seemed like a flourishing Etsy shop. Like there was a lot of things there, and pendulums and witchy stuff. And so hopefully that means that this is something that they will continue to carry. Okay, this is the easiest. I will say these are obviously the absolute easiest, because there is black board, it's black on both sides. So it's like a no-brainer. It's not anything you have to worry about. And so this makes it really easy. Although, again, I really do recommend that you always have the backs of the cards facing you when you're doing it. And I highly recommend a chisel tip. It is a pain in the butt, in my opinion, to do it without a chisel tip. Almost. Of course, then we need to check the corners once more, just to make sure. And I only go over it once. Sometimes people go over it twice. But truthfully, after down the road, I don't know how this cardstock doesn't feel like it's going to be chippy. But down the road, because I definitely tell this is a deck I'll be using a lot. And down the road, it's just easy to throw another layer on. So I don't tend to feel the need for it right away. So it looks like I did pretty good on the corners. So maybe a couple right there. And truthfully, do what I say, not what I do. I don't really recommend, except for on the corners, I don't really recommend doing it like that, because sometimes you can actually see that. Of course, once they're shuffled, you're not going to. It's far better, like on this, if it's a longer strip on the sides, which does happen sometimes, I do kind of peel it out and try to do it individually, because it just is it's a better way to do it than to try to do them clumped together. Black, again, is much more forgiving, but some other colors, as you put another layer on it, really can darken or change the color of the deck. So there you can see it's all done. You will see I have some black on my hand, just a little bit from doing it, but for me, now everybody's different. It must have to do with body chemistry and whatever else it might have to do with. But once this has fully dried, I don't have any issue with transference. Already, and I have very, very white skin, especially on here. And already it's dry. I'm not getting any kind of ink coming off in my hands or on my skin. So that's my experience with Sharpie markers, black Sharpie markers. That's the only thing I think I've ever done with Sharpie. And I need to kind of shift them around. We need to just do a good old-fashioned table. If I'm going to use reversals on a deck, I really do like to at least give it one good. So let's just shuffle. We're just going to do a general reading for me. And I'm just going to pull, no, let's try it both. Let's try it. Generally, so I'm just doing shuffling, 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 pull it together. The only thing, I only use reversals when it really calls for it, like Deste calls for it. So I could turn this over and find the ladies card. This is how I do Lenormand, right? I could find the lady and pull 1, 2, 3, 4 after, and 1, 2, 3, 4 there. See, the whole entire thing, I feel like I probably need to shuffle this some more. But you can do it that way because it gives us significator cards, which is really awesome. Or, you know, you can just pull your cards. See, then you'll have to, instead of like right now, this is how I always shuffle to keep them upright. But you need to consciously turn the deck over, do it, do some like this, take it out and switch it. You know, you have to I don't know how, you know, everybody comes up with their own thing as to how they end up with kind of letting that synchronicity take place in what's going to be reversed and what's not going to be reversed. So I'm just going to put 6 cards down. So what's interesting is that we have doors opening, but there are things that will uproot. Now, being uprooted isn't always negative, right? Because sometimes we can get overly grounded. So maybe being uprooted is the first step to then having some new things coming. And we do have the flame here, passion, creativity. Sometimes you need to, if you get too stuck in a certain pattern, you need to rip those roots up. Excuse me, so that you can experience new things. But I'm going to pull 3 cards for what's going on underneath the situation. We do have the wand in reverse, and we do have the trickster. So I'm just going to take a peek here and see what the wand was in reverse. So we think about the wand as magician, or as the magician card. The wand. Disconnection and lack of intention and distraction. So this is interesting, right? You want to be uprooted so that you can get to the passion, but you don't want to be distracted, because that, of course, then isn't going to do that. So I love that, because this to me has a message of being uprooted. That's okay. We're going to new doors, because these are positive cards on either side. We've got this sense of going through this door. There's new changes and new potentials here, but you've got it might unroot you for a little bit, but that's okay, because then the passion and the creativity is going to flow and have movement that we need here. And again, below the door, we can see that this is a lucky door opening. This is good to have this door opening up for me, right? So we like this, but here we want to be careful. Uproot, but don't completely disrupt. Don't be distracted. Be focused. Keep your focus even throughout the uprooting. And then being careful, because we have the trickster card here. Now the trickster card on this is not all isn't all negative. It's having fun. It's kind of rolling with that fun energy here. It has mischief, fun, and some uncertainty. Put that fiery energy, that element of play, that element of everything doesn't have to be precisely known and right, and put that into that creative process. So I quite like that. That's pretty awesome. I'll take that. So there oops, I put the ones in, which that also can help if you leave your extra cards not edged. That is going to really help you to, again, remember. That's how I tend to do it, is I put them face together, but that is a little extra layer of protection to help to help as you to take those cards away. So there we have it. This has been a look at the Wychwood Oracle, purveyors of, I love it, purveyors of all manner of oracular marvels and oddities. Just makes me happy. And of course, this fortune-telling fish, let's just, that is the idea of having fun. So I hope that you enjoyed this and that you have an absolutely wonderful day.